iPods. They got eyes, they got pods, but the real question is, what can you actually do with them? Well, turns out you can do this with them. One of my friends recently stripped down a second-gen touch wheel to the point where you could see the touch elements, and I thought it looked really cool. And it made me curious about what the 4th-gen touch elements really looked like. I was really surprised to see that the 4th-gen touch wheel looks almost exactly the same as the 2nd-gen. Apparently the 3rd-gen looks almost the same too, but I haven't seen that yet. It's interesting to me that they all look so similar, especially because the 5th-gen and the Nano Clear mods I've seen just look so much different and not nearly as cool. So it got me thinking about clear modding my iPod. You know, I've had an idea for a while to mod an iPod to be as clear as possible. And there's a lot that look cool, but after I took the plastic off the 4th-gen wheel, saw how cool the touch elements looked, I knew that it had to be the pod to use. So I guess you could count this as the unofficial first entry to the series I'll occasionally post about making a clear iPod. Now, before I show you how I did it, I wanted to show you the pod. You know, this one's like working, but not really. You know, like I can go through all of the stuff, but I can't really play music right now. All the buttons work, but I'll sort of talk about it more in another video when I get other mono pods in. Yeah, all I'm really doing is replacing a piece of plastic with a clear piece, so it doesn't really change any of the functionality of the buttons. Just right now this is half working, it's hacked together. I'll splice in a video of it playing songs that I had earlier. This might be one of the easiest iPod mods you can do. First, all you need to do is find a piece of clear plastic. Now, I used a top loader for this because it was just like a proof of concept, but the original click wheel is 1mm thick. So if you want it to be flush like this and not like a lip like on mine, then you need 1mm thick. It also has this inset ring to help align the center button. And since this is only like a proof of concept and not really an actual attempt at making this for real yet, you can see the weird patterns from the original glue. Now for your replacement click wheel cover, you're going to have to mark it at a radius of 21mm for the outer edge and 6.75mm for the inner edge. It's just got this hole here for the center button, and then cut them out. And then at this point, you know, you can just take apart your iPod. You can just take it apart, you know. Don't worry about that. I'll leave a link to an iFixit tutorial on how to properly disassemble the whole thing, but I'll be back in a sec. Once you have your pod apart, click wheel removed, and the plastic cut, test to see that it fits cleanly in the hole in the body. Now this is just a rough cut, but you can see that it fits pretty cleanly through the hole. Now, at this point, you're going to carefully, and I mean very, very carefully, slowly peel the plastic layer off the top of the click wheel. There's a thin ribbon cable under this center button. You can see that little ribbon cable. It's super easy to tear, so you're going to want to be real careful about this. Try to keep it as centered as possible as you're removing the plastic, and peel slowly and evenly, and you'll get it off. Now, this plastic is a lot thinner than the actual click wheel, so this will be easier than yours, but it does come off. You just got to give it some pull. Again, being very careful to hold it. If you touch this glue, it'll probably hold your fingerprints. It seems to be pretty sticky. Set the main part of the click wheel aside, and you're just going to take this center button here, and you're going to use it to make sure that the hole you cut in the plastic is the right size. It should just sit in there, and it shouldn't fall through because it's got that little ring. Now, once you've verified that it fits, you can put your pod back together. Something I've found that helps in reassembling is when you've got the click wheel like this and you've got your clear piece, try to put this on as centered as you can, just lightly and temporarily. Make sure it's centered, and once you've done that, Just give it a very light press down. And when you put your pod back together, you're going to take this off. Make sure you don't put the center button in first. Imagine if you were some kind of idiot who didn't keep the screen in. I had to put it back in manually. That'd be some kind of idiot. Good thing I'm not that kind of idiot. Why is that counting down? Why is that counting down? Once you have the pod fully reassembled, you can just peel off the plastic and put the center button back in. And then, you gotta carefully put the plastic back on, make sure that you keep it all centered and stuff. It's a pretty simple mod to do, honestly. And the touch elements look so nice being shown off like this. I look forward to eventually doing this entirely properly, and then continuing a ClearPod series. At some point, I'd like to, very seriously get this done, and make an entirely see-through 4G, including hard drive, if that's even going to be possible. Just let me just put this back in, show you how I did it. See, there's little pegs on the bottom. You just align those pegs to the divots. Give it a little spin to make sure it's locked. And then just put your piece of plastic back on. Do it lightly and slowly to make sure that it's centered. Then beyond that, once everything goes back together, just press it down. And yeah, there you go. Now, like I said, this pod isn't working right now, so it's gonna sad pod in a second. Once I have it actually properly working and have a proper thin drive for it, you'll be able to see this more properly. Yeah, there you go. Sad pod. Sad lad. But there you go. So that's what I've got right now, just showing off this Clear mod. It's only a proof of concept for now. I'll be improving it in the future. But if you like the content and you want to see more of it going forward, including making this iPod even more clear, well, subscribe. Follow along. I have a lot of ideas and a lot of weird content coming. Oh, and if you're wondering about this, it's a cat. I can show you the cat. Here's the cat. And this is Remy. Hi, Remy. Oh, who's a good kitty? Yeah, you're a good boy. I love you too, Remy. Oh, what a good boy. Isn't he cute? Aw, he loves me. Aw, see? He thinks I taste good. Now this is Thunderdome. He knows. He's allowed to fight here. This is the only place he bites me. Oh, you can't get me. Can't bite me if I don't let you. 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 Can't bite me if I don't let you.